Hi everyone. I've collected a few videos here for you to see about Hamas and how serious they are. So it's very difficult right now because it looks like Gaza, the people in Gaza don't have a chance because of the disproportionate fighting coming from Israel. And if Americans help them and show their support, I'm afraid it's not going to change their minds about how they feel about Americans. They're never going to thank Americans. They've made up their mind about America and Americans. It is death to America, death to Americans, no matter what. So it's a really difficult situation. Anyway, this is just a little reminder of what has been going on in the past years, up to 5 years ago. All right, listen to this first one. This is the Deputy Speaker of Hamas Parliament.
إذا وطئ العدو شبر أرض من ديار الإسلام كان الجهاد فرض عين على كل مسلم ومسلمة بحيث تخرج المرأة دون إذن زوجها والخادم يخرج دون إذن سيده. لماذا؟ للقضاء على هؤلاء اليهود. اللهم عليك باليهود ومن والاهم، اللهم عليك بالأمريكان ومن والاهم، اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا.
Okay, so kill everyone. And jihad is first. You don't have to ask anyone. Women can go. They don't have to ask their husbands. A servant can go. Somebody who works for someone else, you just go. This is the first command to go kill people. Okay, so that's one. Now this happened a week or so ago, and this is really interesting. This is in Miami, so it shows you that it's coming so close to the U.S. I mean, it's in the U.S. already, but what's really ironic about this is back here it says torch of friendship, and these guys are really fighting. Anyway, listen to this part, the chant.
Touch me, motherfucker, you go to jail. This guy supports genocide. This guy supports murder. This guy supports the murder and death of babies, innocent children.
Okay, well, anyway, they are commanded, keep that in mind, their leaders in highest places command them to kill. So, you know, when every society breaks down and it comes down to it, will their instincts and allegiance to Allah and Muhammad the Prophet kick in, and they'll do what they're told. Okay, here's Hamas in their own voices, death to Jews and death to America.
الموت الموت لأمريكا.
Hamas, founded in 1988, is designated by the United States and European Union as a terrorist organization. Over the past few years, Hamas terrorist attacks and actions have made news. A week before fighting erupted in Gaza, Hamas's leader from Damascus put an end to a short-lived truce with Israel. This, in their own voices, is Hamas.
ستفتح روما كما فتحت القسطنطينية، وإذا كانت اليوم هي عاصمة الكاثوليك أو الصليبية التي أعلنت عداءها للإسلام ليمنعوا نهضة الإسلام من جديد، ستكون عاصمتهم نقطة متقدمة للفتوحات الإسلامية التي تنساح في أوروبا كلها، ثم تلتفت إلى الأمريكتين بل إلى أوروبا الشرقية. أنتم الأعلى.
Hamas leaders call for the annihilation of Israel and of all Jews, for death to and annihilation of America, and for the Islamic conquest of the world.
أيها الأمريكان، سيعاقبكم الله أن يعلن الله الحرب عليكم يا آكلي الربا. العلم الأمريكي بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى. حية كل التحية إلى المقاومة الأفغانية في أفغانستان التي تمرغ أنف جيش أمريكا. أنكم وكأن الذي قتل يهودي واحد كأنه قتل 30 مليون يهودي. لثأرا لا والله لن ينقضي على يهود هنا في فلسطين. هذا من أروع ألوان البركة الحقيقية لفلسطين. الله أكبر من أمريكا وأكبر من القوى العظمى، ونقول لهذا الغرب ستهزمون والله، والأمة العربية والإسلامية اليوم صاعدة ناهضة سوف تستعيد زعامة العالم.
All clips shown on this video were aired before the current Gaza crisis. For the most up-to-date information on the Middle East, visit www.memory.com.
Okay, so that was like the first Gaza crisis. And so, death to America. This is really it. Hamas. Death to America, starring Hamas.
جئنا لنقول ونحن نحرق العلم الأمريكي بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى، فليعلو صوت الله أكبر. الموت الموت لأمريكا، الموت الموت لإسرائيل.
So are they related to the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, or ISIS or ISIL, now Islamic State? Are they related? Of course they are. They have the same goal, to conquer the world and the West and America, and death to America. Okay, this is a report from a school. I believe it's in Florida, and people are speaking because parents have allowed Hamas curriculum to get into the school books. And the Council of American and Islamic Relations are in the schools. So have a listen to this.
I'm Bill Korak, the report card. We're in Tampa at the Board of Education building. Many groups are here for a press conference and school board meeting to protest the Council for American Islamic Relations speaking in Tampa schools. They say CARE is linked to terrorist organizations.
here today not to indict or condemn the Hillsborough County School Board. We're actually here because we all have failed to protect our children, starting with our parents not looking into textbooks, to the local community not being involved, and the school board as well as the Department of Education. We have allowed Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, and even Al-Qaeda to actually write educational policy in America and influence our children. How is it that Abdurrahman al-Amoudi, currently serving 23 years in prison as an Al-Qaeda financier and a co-founder, one of the founding leaders of Hamas Care, was able to write the educational guidelines with the ACLU under the Clinton administration and continue to be an ambassador to the Islamic community under the Bush administration?
Now, don't you find that strange that some of these people who are calling for death to America have so much influence in policy in the USA now? But then on the other hand, all the Christmas trees and Ten Commandments and all these kinds of things are being taken out. You can't say Merry Christmas to people. You can't even say bless you. Somebody lost their job who worked in a bank because she said to her customer, or have a blessed day or something like that. Fired. And then these labeled by the US government, by Clinton, as terrorists, Hamas, way back in the day. Some of these clips here are 5 years old, by the way. But yet, little children, American children, are going through the TSA and getting checked for, being potential terrorists. Don't you think something funny is going on? Well, this all has to happen, I guess. Maybe this is God's way to fulfill this whole plan. So be ready, because it doesn't seem like anybody can stop this. And especially this guy, what he's saying right here. No involvement. No parent involvement. Community involvement. Everybody just goes about their business and thinks that the schools are doing their jobs and teachers are doing their jobs. Meanwhile, the infiltration has taken place, and it's all wonderful to integrate and have friendship and accept other cultures and everything, but when they're calling for the death of America and to destroy everything and to take over the whole world, I don't know why. The political correctness has gone a bit too far. This gets interesting here. This young guy gives a speech after this guy.
How is it that Shabir Mansouri, whose quote right here says, "I'm waging a bloodless revolution in America's classrooms," is able to put the content into virtually every textbook across the country regarding Islam? And how is it that another Muslim Brotherhood entity, ISNA, and the CIE are able to, in the Teacher's Guide to Religion in the Classroom, of the 17 organizations, the CIE, who's waging a bloodless revolution, is one of the contributors, as well as the Islamic Society of North America, who is also a co-conspirator in the largest terrorism funding case in U.S. history, who also petitioned the court, along with CARE and the North American Islamic Trust, to have its name removed 3 times unsuccessfully. And lastly, we have CARE Hassan Shibli, who has praised and defended Hezbollah, and he runs CARE Tampa, an organization that is designated a Hamas entity in federal court, influencing our children. I would say that as a nation we have failed.
Don't you think that that is interesting? That they have influenced American classrooms so much? And then I wonder how Hamas, the Islamic faith, how they reconcile what's happening in America with the lesbian, gay, bi, transgender community. So if they end up taking over America, how are they going to deal with that? I guess we'll have to see.
Parent, we have failed. As educators, we have failed. And it's time for us to unite and to stand up and say no more to CARE, no more to the Brotherhood, no more to Al-Qaeda, and to protect our children. And that's why we're here today. And we encourage every parent in this community to get involved and go to www.secure-our-schools.com. So secureourschools.com and get involved and make this a public issue, and let's work together to protect our children. Thank you.
And if the rest of you would line up and be prepared, Rael Rossi, Margaret Wilson, Dan Kinsey, Sergio Denona, and there's no year.
I'd like to ask everyone who is here because you don't want to hear in the classroom, free to stand up briefly. My name is Terry Keppel, and I'm here representing Community Issues Council.
I just want to let you know I oppose CARE, speaking of our public school system, because it's a threat against our children and ultimately our nation and our freedom. Sharia-compliant theologian preaches that fundamentalist Islam wishes to destroy all states, governments, anywhere on the face of this earth which are opposed to the ideology and program of fundamentalist Islam, regardless of the country or the nation which rules it, end quote. The bottom line is that the goal of Sharia law is to become the law of the land. CARE promotes Sharia in America and tries to downplay its negative aspects. In fact, CARE is one of the organizations that poses as a moderate and uses a stealth or cultural jihad, as other people have said, to achieve their objectives. So simply put, once fundamentalist Muslims replace enough of the population of any country, the non-believers will lose their nation, their culture, their laws, their land, and their fundamental human rights. The only difference between CARE and violent groups like Hamas and Al-Qaeda are their tactics and their timing. However, their desired goals are exactly the same, and that is the imposition of Sharia law and the establishment of a global fundamentalist Islamic state. I realize that raising these goals of radical Islam is not popular or politically correct in the culture today, exactly because of the flood of propaganda insisting that fundamentalist Islam is merely another religion. But extreme Islam's most basic tenets and goals is at its core a nullification of our Constitution, and as such, a single greatest threat to America that it has ever seen. In a court of law where it takes the voice of two women equal that of a man, and to denounce a faith is to accept death seems to oppose the Constitution, which instituted to ensure our equal rights. However, it's all commonplace under Sharia law. Oil and water would be a good analogy. However, with our extreme tolerance, maybe host and parasite might serve better. To summarize, we are left with a choice to dismiss or address the reality of this threat. And I ask that you urgently place this item on the agenda.
Thank you. So, yes, Sharia law in the USA, I don't think people really think it could ever happen. However, it's happening. And then what children are learning from Hamas on TV shows in Gaza, they want to kill Americans. This is just it. And so that's why I say this is a really difficult situation. Little teeny children are taught to be willing to die at a very young age. And when they say that Hamas is using them for shields, I think that deeply rooted in their belief system, they may think that it's not, if they die, it's okay. I mean, that's what I'm getting from all of this. They're really big on death.
قالت رعاة البقر كفرا كمان. اخواننا في امريكان كانوا يغلطون على الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. وليس مش اخواننا هذول مجرمين. ايه؟ هذول كفار مش اخواننا. هم اعداء الله كانوا يغلطون على الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
كيف تجرؤوا هؤلاء الدنماركيين على الإساءة لنبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم؟ هل عندك إجابة يا أسود؟
أنا مش عارف، ما عنديش إجابة، بس يمكن عشان العرب المسلمين ساكتين وصامتين استهزلوهم وعملوا لهم الحاجات هذه.
بسبب يا سود.
لا أعلم ولا أعرف.
لأن الغرب رأوا أننا ابتعدنا عن دين الله سبحانه وتعالى، ورأوا أننا ابتعدنا عن سنة نبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم يا السود، فهم رأونا كذلك، يعني تنازلنا عن دين الله سبحانه وتعالى، فيعني ما كان بوسعهم إلا أن يسيئوا لنبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم، لأنهم رأوا أننا يعني إذا كنا كذلك يعني لن نفعل شيء فداء الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. لكن أنا أقول لهم أنتم لم تروا شيئا، فجند رواد الغد بإذنه تعالى سيفدون الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم بكل ما يملكون، فسيفدونه بكل يعني دمائهم أيضا يا السود، ولن يسمحوا لهم بأن يعيدوا الكرة من جديد يا
طب
السود.
لو عادوها يا سراء إن شاء الله حنقتلهم، صح ولا لا؟
بإذنه تعالى يا أسود.
حنعضهم وناكلهم، صح ولا لا؟
نعم
إن شاء الله.
يا أسود، نحن لسنا إرهابيون، نحن فقط نريد أن يرجع لنا وطننا الحبيب فلسطين، نريد أن تكون كل فلسطين لنا يا أسود، نحن لسنا إرهابيون
لأنها هي إلنا من الأول، صح يا سراء؟
نعم يا أسود، فقط لأننا نريد ذلك. هم يقولون عنا بأن إرهابيون ويزعمون بأننا إرهابيون، لكن نحن بالطبع لسنا إرهابيون،
ولسنا إرهابيون،
ونحن بإذنه تعالى
ومن الإرهابيون، صح ولا لا يا
نعم يا
سراء؟
أسود، ونحن بإذنه تعالى سنعيدها، يعني سنعيد المدن التي محتلة من قبل الاحتلال الصهيوني، يافا وحيفا وعكا وأسدود وهوج وكل المدن الفلسطينية.
أمنيتي يا سراء، تعلمين ما هي الأمنية؟
ما هي؟
التي أريد أن تتحقق. أريد إن شاء الله نأخذ يافا وعكا وحيفا، نأخذ كل فلسطين إن شاء الله لنا، شايفة كيف؟ وكمان ننتحل زي هيك ونروح على وين؟ على العراق.
نعم.
وكمان تكون لنا وكلها تنفتح الحدود والسدود بيننا وبين مصر، ما يكونش إيش؟ ما يكونش حواجز، ولا بيننا وبين الأردن ولا بيننا وبين السعودية.
نعم.
نروح ونيجي بالسيارات وكل حاجة وفي الجبال.
نعم يا أسود.
يا ريت يا سراء، معقول هذا بده يتحقق الحاجة هذه؟
إن شاء الله، وبإذنه تعالى عما قريب سيتحقق.
عما قريب إن شاء رب العالمين. لما يجي النمر، لما أنا أستشهد يا سراء ويجي بدي النمر إن شاء الله أنا اللي بدي أظبط الوضع، ومش هيجي النمر، وإن شاء الله أنا وياك ورواد الغد إحنا اللي هنحقق إن شاء الله الحلم هذا. يعني مين بده يقدم البرنامج لو أنت استشهدت؟ يعني يعني 100,000 سراء بدك إن شاء الله.
بإذنه تعالى يا
يعني ناخذ من تعاون رواد الغد إن شاء الله.
بإذنه تعالى هناك آلاف جند رواد الغد.
هذه الأمنية بتاعتنا إن شاء الله، الشهادة في سبيل الله، صح ولا لا؟
نعم يا أسود.
Martyrdom is what they hope for. Can you imagine on a children's show? They're hoping and wishing for killing, for shedding blood, to be martyred. Okay, this is the last one, showing very young children and what they're teaching them.
اسمع يا صديقي، في يهود. صديقي كويس.
هسه لا.
طيب أنا سمعت هم بيجوا عليكم كل يوم.
بس هسه لا.
طيب اسمع يا صديقي، اعمل ايدك هيك.
مخيم.
لما يجوا عندكم اضربهم بوكس. خلي وجهه فنطارة.
والله عشان نحرر فلسطين.
إن شاء الله. صديقي. طيب على العموم يا روان، أنا بقول له يمسك حجر، ولما يجي اليهود عنده يمسكوه وبوف.
طبعا الجيران اليهوديين عندي
يطبش عليهم.
See these young kids, and she's older than the younger girls. They teach them to pick up rocks and throw them. So they're in a way commanded to do this. So in the back of their minds, when they're outside, if they come across Jews or even the Israeli Defense Force, the kids are going to throw rocks to smash them.
وكانوا يهود يعني جيرانه أو صهاينة عادي. طيب دين ليش حابة تصير شرطية؟ ليش؟ زي مين؟ زي عمه. مين عمه؟ أحمد. هو شرطي؟ شو بيسوي طب الشرطي؟
بس الحرامي والبيعمل مشاكل.
وبتطخي اليهود صح؟ انت بدك تصيري زيه؟ ان شاء الله لما تكبري. لما طخ اليهود كلهم؟ كلهم؟ طيب.
Okay. There you go. So we want to protect all the people that are dying in Gaza, but they want to kill us also. Americans. Death to America. And they're there. And now with the borders open, they know this is an opportunity. So what can you expect? But this is all going according to plans. So stay close to the one true God, Holy Creator, and Jesus Christ, which they won't like it if you choose Jesus Christ over other things, you know. You'll end up losing your head from both sides. Jews, you know, the Noahide laws, they want to cut your head off for idolatry. If you worship Jesus Christ and believe He's God, and also the Muslims will want to decapitate you also if you're not Muslim and you don't convert. Things like this are coming, so get ready, and God bless everyone.